Okay, I just filmed this entire video and realized my mic wasn't plugged in, and now I'm knocking stuff over. I'm kind of in a salty mood right now. It's kind of a good way to just delve into this. I just wanted to talk about the Lego Star Wars 2023 Summer Wave here. Not a review. Not gonna go too deep into any details or anything because you guys already know all that stuff. There's better videos out there. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts because I have nothing better to do with my life, and I would like to just talk about it. And I'd like you guys to talk about it as well. Sound off in the comments. Tell me what you think about all these sets. Which ones are you grabbing on day one? Which ones are you absolutely not getting? What do you think could be better? So yeah, just gonna go through these pretty quick. Starting off is the first one, the Tanoo Jedi Temple. I think the 4+ little set. Great minifigs. I think it's a very bad price point at $40 for that piece count. Like, I don't know if a lot of people are buying that. Maybe I'll just try to get the figures on Bricklink or something, but that's obviously for an adult collector, not much there. As a kid set, it's a pretty good play set, just again, expensive, so maybe wait for that to go on sale. Next up we have our Mandalorian N-1 Starfighter Microfighter. We've seen some pretty good alternate builds from the Razor Crest Microfighter last year, so this kind of doesn't really need to exist. We don't really need another Mandalorian figure in a cheap set. It really sucks that it was bumped up to $16 from $10. Like, they really cranked up the prices of those microfighters there. I think really the only noteworthy thing about this set is that it will probably be the last microfighter ever, because we've seen them tapering off over past years, and it doesn't look like there's any rumors for next year. So yeah, this might be the last microfighter of all time. And kind of in place of those is our next set, these mechs. We've got the Vader, Stormtrooper, and Boba Fett mechs. It seems like the mechs did pretty good with Marvel. Again, as an adult collector, not really much interest in those. Maybe just a cheap way to get a decent Boba Fett minifigure. But outside of that, they're not canon. There's nothing about those that are actually in the movies. It's just a cool playset, which I'm trying to picture myself as like a 10-year-old. Maybe it would have been fun as a playset. Who knows? So, yeah, we'll see how long that line sticks around or if it even takes off in the first place. Very, very curious to see how that goes. Next up is the 332nd Trooper little battle pack. It's something that people really wanted like 2 years ago. I think it's kind of random that it's happening now. It's kind of weird. Really sucks for people who invested in the 332nd Troopers that everyone thought was going to go crazy high in price, and now that they're super widely available, we're going to probably see that plummet on Bricklink. At least the old ones still have like the no helmet holes, which some people think is better. I think there's no problem with the helmet holes. I think it's honestly cool to be able to put little visors and stuff on there. Like, I really always enjoyed those with my clones in 2008 and whatever. So we'll see. I think people just like to complain about things. I think they're just fine, and it's really cool that they have multiple clone packs out at the same time. Like, they're giving us more focus finally, even though no one really wanted these now. We kind of just want plain white troopers, which is actually finally happening, allegedly, in the next wave. So keep your eyes out for that, and maybe we'll finally start getting some really good battle packs in the near future. Who knows? Anyways, next is Yoda's Starfighter, a remake that we had, the original one maybe 6 years ago or something. I don't think, again, anyone was really asking for this remake so soon. The old one is still available on Bricklink or eBay for probably $55 or so, new and sealed, or you can get them used for probably about the same price as this, which is $35, which also kind of sucks for only having the two minifigures. And again, just Yoda and R2, like, what are we going to do with those? Kind of have them in a billion sets, but if it's hitting you at the right time, there's nothing wrong with the ship at all. It's a really cool build. I might personally prefer the old one a little bit. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with this one. I just think the old one looks a little bit more crisp. So I'll probably end up picking that up at some point. Next set we have is the Mandalorian Spider Tank Droid thing. Again, nifty set, I guess. The build doesn't do much for me. Like, just a spider droid thing. Like, sure, as a play set, again, pretty cool. As a display, it doesn't really add much value. Obviously, the Bo-Katan minifigure is the highlight of that set, which I'll probably end up picking up just on Bricklink, or maybe if the set goes really cheap on sale and I have a discount and stuff, maybe I'll pick it up just for that, but really no interest in that set as a whole, honestly. Just the minifig is probably one of the best of the year, for sure. Next up, we have our Yavin 4 playset. Again, there was a lot of hype for this, especially based on people who saw the prototype from the 2009 Visual Dictionary. Like, I always thought that was just a super cool set, that prototype of the Yavin 4 thing. So I was really hyped when I heard the rumors for this one, and now it kind of just looks like a glorified 4+ set to me, honestly, not gonna lie. Like, it doesn't look super presentable on the outside. It just reminds me of like that Tanoo Jedi Temple thing. Like, this looks very childish. It's a great minifigure selection, don't get me wrong. Probably one of the best we've seen outside of like Master Builder series or UCS, but really just kind of a, I don't know, not a super appealing set to me. Maybe when it goes on sale again, I'll pick it up or something. It's cool that it's got the scaled down Y-wing in there included, but maybe that's part of what makes it look like less pristine to me too, just because it's such a like scaled down build. It's not that great. Next up, we have our advent calendar. Not much to say here. It gets the job done. Gives you something to open every day during the holiday season or whatever. I think the Leia minifigure is kind of odd a choice to be in there. Like no one really wanted that either. It just feels like it's taking up a slot, but it's cool that something that was exclusive to an 18 plus set is available in something cheaper. So maybe if you really like that figure, it's cool to have it available in something cheaper. I always wish we would have just had more minifigures with the holiday sweaters because I think those are super cool. I think it's cool that they threw the 212th Trooper in there or whatever. It's good to have him in a cheap set available, and he'll probably be cheaper on Bricklink now for people parting out these calendars. So overall, a solid figure selection. Next up is the buildable Chewie. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about this one, but we're going to anyways. I think it needed to be done. I think they needed to have a buildable figure of this scale just to see what it would look like, because people have been talking about it for a while with our helmet series and with the buildable R2 and stuff. People wanted a 3PO of some sort, or like the busts or something like that. They just wanted to have a buildable character. And I think it's good to see what that would look like. I think the answers to that are not good. I think it's not a good looking set by any means. Like, I mean, look at that face. Christ. I'm going to have nightmares about this stuff. The legs and stuff, obviously he's supposed to have shaggy fur and whatnot, but I just think it looks really not that great. Like kind of smooth and blocky at the same time, if that makes sense. Like too smooth and too chunky. Maybe I'm just complaining, but I absolutely hate this set, will not buy it. Even if it's marked down 50% off and still $100, I will never, ever buy this set. And I don't think a lot of people are either, but especially this one, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about the buildable Chewbacca. Next up is our Gunship. Again, people wanted Gunship forever. I think they'd be more hype on it if it was a regular Gunship, but it's cool to have the red, like Republic Guard Gunship. It's just, like the Coruscant Guard thing is so niche. Like I don't think a lot of people want to army build this, whereas they would have bought 3 or 5 of the regular white ones for people who could afford to get a bunch of those. It's a great minifigure selection, even though you kind of wish there were more in an expensive set, but every figure in there is good. The Commander Fox would look a little bit better if he had like that waistcloth, which my brother actually has it and put the waistcloth on, and it does look really good, so I'd highly recommend that, or just taking one off another minifigure to put it on there and see what it would look like. But really good figure otherwise. They just should have put it on there instead of printing it. Palpatine's always good to see. It's great to finally have a Padme minifigure that isn't in that Tatooine disguise from episode 1, because like they made 3 or 4 versions of that figure and like hardly any other versions, so it's good to finally have a new one. Even though I think it's kind of like a remake of the Clone Wars style one from like 2011 or something, but looks way better, so I will just take it. Next is our mini little Ahsoka wave. I think this has been a great release wave. I love the Ahsoka series so much. No spoilers or anything, but it's great to see them getting a lot of attention for a new media. Like we didn't really see a proper wave or anything for any of the Kenobi or Mandalorian series or anything, so this is kind of like a targeted, here's a little group of sets, here's a little batch of stuff to help hype up the series. So I think that's a really good thing to see, and I hope we get more of that energy. The Ghost has obviously been like highly demanded for so long. It's so expensive on Bricklink right now and eBay. So they did a really good job recreating that. I think it does look nicer on the outside. It could use a little more interior room. Obviously more figures would be nice, especially for that price point. They could have put Thrawn or something in there. But all the figures that are in there look super great. I think it's definitely an upgrade from before. It includes the Phantom 2 also, which the original one doesn't include the Phantom. It has a slot for the Phantom 1 to connect, but the second one they put out just does not fit in there. So this is certainly an upgrade from that. Love it. Next is the T6 Shuttle. T6 Shuttle looks great. Great figures. They, again, could have maybe had more. Just that Hu Yang minifigure, I think, should have looked more like a droid. Like just with that more frail droid-like build instead of using the minifigure torso and legs. I think that was a bold, creative choice there. It's good that they put a head mold on him, like a unique custom one. That's cool. It looks pretty good. I just still wish it was more like a droid-looking figure. Ahsoka is goated. That's definitely one of my favorite figures of all time instantly. But I'm biased because I like Ahsoka a little bit there. It was obviously a choice to make it gray instead of white, like the original one was. I think it's accurate enough to the show, maybe like a light gray somewhere in between, but in and of itself, it doesn't look bad. It's just the question of the accuracy there, which people might have a problem with. I don't. It's a little bit downscaled too, like an interior of some sort would have been nicer, or at least a cockpit that fits 2 minifigures or more, like the old one did. It kind of really sucks. You can only put 1 figure in there, but it looks good on display. And this is actually the only one I think from this wave so far that I have bought and built, and I quite enjoyed it. And the final set from the Ahsoka wave is Shin Hati's fighter versus the E-Wing. Her fighter kind of looks like a Naboo fighter. It's a new ship for the series. It's pretty cool. It's whatever. The E-Wing, I did not realize, was actually from Legends. It's existed in Star Wars before, and they're finally making it in Lego form and finally in the canon movies and series. So it's really cool, nice little Easter egg for old school fans. I wish I had that hype because I don't really remember what books it was in, even though I probably read half of them. But really cool, great minifigure selection. Basically your main antagonists from the series, aside from Thrawn, but like... that's it for the summer wave proper. All we have left is our holiday-themed Millennium Falcon diorama thingy. It looks super cool. I love it. It's a very cute set. It's a good way to get 2 of those Christmas sweaters that we don't really see in anything outside of the Advent calendars. Supposedly, it's only available for a limited time. Comes out October 1st and should only be available through the holiday season or until it sells out. So definitely get your hands on one as soon as you can. I will be buying and building on day 1 for sure. Yeah, it comes with that Rey figure. That's awesome. It also comes with the BB-8, I think was the droid. It comes with a Porg. It comes with a turkey thing in there, which may or may not have been a Porg at one point, which is kind of, if you choose to go Doomer with that one, that's a little odd of a choice, but yeah. But yeah, super great looking set. Definitely going to be cool to have on display for the holidays, and it's nice. It kind of goes with the Lego Star Wars movie thing they put out last year, so it's cool to see some continuity there. Final set of the year is our UCS Venator. Again, widely hyped. We've wanted this for so long. It looks great. I cannot say enough about it. There's plenty of reviews out there if you want more in-depth on that one. I'm trying to find room in my house somewhere to put it, but I am just frank out of space. I wish I might have to get rid of my bed or something, or just sleep next to it or something. I don't know, but I want that on day 1, and I want to build it so bad. Minifigure selection I think is really great. The Yularen is super good. He was, Admiral Yularen was voiced by Tom Kane, who narrated the intros for all the Clone Wars shows, and also for the, and also he voiced Yoda in the Clone Wars too, so it's cool. Sadly, he retired from voice acting too, which is kind of a bummer, but I've always liked him. I liked his voice, I liked his characters, and it's really cool. There's not really a lot of demand for this figure, so it kind of works out perfectly to have like a niche little thing in the UCS set that not a lot of people will probably be buying. The Rex figure, obviously people want in a cheaper set. He looks good. They can retain the exclusivity of having his head patch or whatnot. Like if they release a cheaper one in a cheaper set soon, you can just like not have the head patch or be from a different episode or something, so we can kind of keep him exclusive and have a little different thing there, but definitely would benefit from a waist cape, so I plan to put one on when I get it. They should not have printed it, especially since he's not sitting down. That was kind of just a dumb choice. But I get that they're trying to be standard across the board, because then it's like they're clearly drawing the line somewhere of where they put capes on and where they don't. I don't really like that. But helmet holes don't bother me as much as they bother some people. The printed chest thing I think is a little bit oversized compared to how he appears in previous media. But again, it's not the end of the world. Pretty solid fig. The 2013 one is definitely better in my opinion. I love him so much more. But maybe when I have them in hand and can look side by side, I'll think a little bit more highly of this one. But still not a terrible figure, and hopefully he does appear in a cheaper set in the near future. But anyways, that's all the sets we've had in the past 4 months. I know these came out in like June, August, September, and October. It's kind of a really stretched out summer wave. And obviously October is not actually summer, but I threw it in here because I don't care. But yeah, nice to get back on film and talking about some stuff. Again, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about all these sets or my opinions of these sets. Follow me on Instagram too, Big Brick Insta. There should be a link somewhere on my YouTube. But give it a follow, like and subscribe and whatnot, and drink some water, whatever else, and hang in there. We'll see you in the next one.